And action. So, as I previously stated in season 1 of Street Interviews, I already did an episode where I talked to people about should you take back an ex that cheated. A lot of people said no. Once somebody breaks that kind of trust, it's like frame damage on a car. Once it's bent, and you can't mend it back together. So this ties into my next story time, which is the continuation of the last story time. I'm not sure what's up with this light. I think I might have get that ball fixed or something. But with this light, it is that bulb. And anyway, so the episode, the story time of this episode is going to be the time I caught my ex-girlfriend cheating again. I guess what they say is true. Once a cheater, always a cheater. But we broke up her senior year, my junior year, around April of 2018. And we didn't talk to each other all summer and all fall. But everything changed like one random weekend in December. So I was working my job at Burger King. Granted, I was only 18. So yeah, that's a perfect job for an 18-year-old is Burger King that's still in high school. And I checked my phone and Snapchat didn't just send me the regular notification that somebody added me on Snap. They sent me like the whole screen was her Bitmoji with her hands up like this, celebrating with like confetti, saying that she added me back. And I was like, damn, why'd you add me back? Yeah, keep in mind this is December. This is the heart of cuffing season. So I thought she wanted us to get back together before the Christmas and New Year's and stuff. So I was a little apprehensive, but then I was like, you know what? Let's see where this goes. So I added her back. We get to talking and everything. And we hung out a couple times. We didn't really do much because, I was still mad about what happened earlier that year. So I really wasn't trying to do much with her in case she would have flaked again. And sure enough, she ended up doing it. So it's spring 2019. It's my senior year. And I tried to organize going because I was in Skills USA. So I want her to go with me up to Skills USA. Well, since she graduated the year before, she couldn't go to any of my current year's functions. So that went out the window. And then I wanted to take her to my year's seniors thingy down in Orlando where they do senior night. And I couldn't take her to that because she wasn't a student anymore. I was like, damn. And then I wanted to take her to prom. And we were talking about that, planning that. But then she kind of got shaky again at prom. 2 years in a row with this girl got shaky around prom. So that fell apart. So I was like Lil Uzi Vert in EXO Tour Life. I'm barely her man now, but we were still solid, hanging out, talking, texting, and whatnot. And so my senior year goes by. I see her at graduation, and she started being a little standoffish again. So I was like, here we go again. And so here it is, about a month after I graduated. Now she lives now in Camden County. This is a pretty big county. She lived at the way end of Dover Bluff. And if you're on I-95, that's exit 26. That's way up and way to the right. So she's a good about 30-minute drive away from me, almost 40 miles away. I'm down here at exit 3. So 23 miles down 95 out in my neighborhood. Not trying to dox myself. But I'm in a nice little neighborhood here off of 40. And so I had a little side business going on where I go and I cut grass. And sure enough, while I was cutting grass, which was literally 2 streets behind my house, but there's a short street that connects the two. So I'm able to see the back of my house from this house. So anyway, I'm cutting grass, I finished cutting the grass and I'm onto the weed whacker, and the weed whacker ran out of string. So I sit in the back of my truck, take the spool off the weed whacker, and I start re-stringing it. And then sure enough, I see a blue car that looks just like her car is coming down the road. So I thought that, she was surprised stopping by because I was planning on taking us out on a date earlier that evening because it was Saturday and I need to cut this grass to pay for a date. So I thought she would just stop by to say hi. Maybe she had some errands to run. Maybe she was doing something with her mom while she was down around my area. And so I waved at her, but she didn't wave back. In fact, she looked kind of like, in fact, she had a very like, what are you doing here kind of face on her. And then I had to verify that it was her car by looking at the wheels, the tinted windows, and then the license plate, and all of it matched. So I was like, ain't no way. But she drove by, so I stand around and looked behind her, and I was like, waving like, "Hey, come back! I'm right here." And she parks at a house like 4 houses down, and she waits there on the side of the road. So I thought she was picking up something. Bro, hell no, bro. This, like, a minute later, this big ass black dude, like, huge, like, I'll say about a foot shorter than Shaq, comes out the house, backs his truck up, that way she can park in the driveway, and he parks behind her. She goes in this house for about 30 to 45 minutes, and I'm sitting out there on the tailgate this whole time. I'm like, screw cutting the grass, bro. What the hell is going on here? And I see her come out, and then I see the black dude come out. Black dude moves his truck out the way, and she backs out and leaves, and he parks back in the driveway. So then I wave at her, and I'm like, what the heck? But she starts speeding off. So that's when I'm like, what the hell did you just do with that dude in there? Now, I know assuming makes an ass out of you and me, because that's what the word assume means. But a dude isn't just going to invite over a fine as hell 5'8" redhead with blue eyes and not have any intentions of with her. So I don't know what she did in the house for that 30 45 minutes, but that's how I found out that that wasn't my girl anymore. Once a cheater, always a cheater. So texted her and I was like, fuck this, fuck you. We're out and we are done. So instead of going to that date, I went to the club and partied up a storm there. But yeah, Haley, if you see this, fuck you, you cheating bitch. And if your person cheats on you, do not take them back. Because I learned the hard way. Once a cheater is always a cheater. So with that said, thanks for watching my Floridians. And I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace.